Welcome to this online video lecture. This is Dinesh, Assistant Professor in EC Department, Government College of Engineering, Tanjavur. We are in Unit 5, Application Layer, and today's topic is World Wide Web and Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So these are the concepts we're going to cover today. Starts with Introduction to World Wide Web and the architecture, what are the documents used in World Wide Web, and hypertext transfer protocol will be discussed in this video session. We are in unit 5, so we discuss about application layer paradigm, client server model. We talked about peer-to-peer entity and client server programming. So this is part of application layer, and we are going to discuss about the World Wide Web. See, the World Wide Web is a way of exchanging information between computer and internet. Between a computer on internet. So it is a misconception that the World Wide Web is an internet. It is not an internet. It is a part of internet infrastructure, and it consists of worldwide collection of electronic documents. In other words, it's collection of web pages. And the World Wide Web is the network of pages of images, text, and sound on the internet, which can be viewed using browser softwares. And a web server is a computer, you all know that, and that receives the request from the client side of the computer, and that page will be provided through some of the scripts. We are going to use that like hypertext markup language, XML, extensible markup language. When you are using mobile, they have a different script. When you are using a desktop computer, we are using HTML. We may have a JavaScript. So that type of scripting language will, through that language, through that protocols, so we are accessing the web pages. So web pages, and in that particular web pages we have a lot of data will be there, and how we are accessing, how we are connecting the server. So these things we will be discussed in this video session. So into the World Wide Web today is a distributed client server service, in which client using a browser can access the service using a server. However, the service provided is distributed over many locations called site. See, we may have a same site, different file locations are available. We have to get 3 or more transactions to access that particular image. And we do have different data will be present. It will be available in different servers, a different database, and we need to access that too. So it is important to know that this is not a synonym of internet. As I said, the World Wide Web are just the web. They are, as ordinary people call it, is a subset of internet. Web consists of pages that can be accessed using web browser. It may be a Google Chrome or Firefox. So through that software, web browser software, we can access that. The internet is the actual network of networks where all the informations reside in the internet. It is not like internet. Things like Telenet, FTP, internet gaming, internet relay chat, and email are all part of internet, but are not part of World Wide Web. So the architecture of World Wide Web, we have a client in the server. It's a client server model, and we need to access a page. So we need to access a site. That particular site, we have a web page. If you want that, you need to give a request to the particular site. They will be response, and they will provide a web page A. Like that, we have a request in a site B, another site. There's a new request will be given, so that will be transferred. So the same site, if you have a reference pages, if you have a reference page for the same site, you have different files, it will not access within one request. It will take 2 or more transactions to access that particular page. You may have, we use hyperlink pages, you may have master page, and you have a different content. You have given a link to particular site. That particular link have a different site or different server. So we need to give a request for separately. We need to give a request for that particular web page if you want to access the page. If you have a page, you have image, data, video, that may have a different server. It may take different multiple requests, and response will happen. So in the particular client server model. World Wide Web is today is a distributed client server service in which the client using a browser can access a service using a server. However, the service provider is distributed over many locations called sites. Each sites hold one or more web pages. It depends upon that. Each web page, however, can contain some link to other web pages. So I said hyperlink. So one link, one page contain another page link. For that, you have to give a separate request, and connection establishment must happen separately. It will be in the same site we can interact, but that link will be available, that data will be available in some other server. So in other words, a web page can be simple or a composite. A simple web page can have no link, one request and getting one response. Composite web page have one or more links and other web pages. So each web page has a file with a name and an address. This is the overall structure. We have a browser, so that will be a controller part. They have a protocols to access what type of application they are going to access. Whether it is a web surfing, we can use hypertext transfer protocol. Whether it is a file transfer, we are using file transfer protocol. Telnet, if you are using virtual terminal. If it is a mail, we have to use SMTP. So through that, through the protocol and through the web page, we insert the protocol. Then we will be asking that server through the data will be coming from the representation of HTML, hypertext markup language, JavaScript or Java. So this is the interpreters between server and the web browser. So the URL will be like that protocol, whether you are using FTP, HTTP, that particular thing, and there's a path, and the path will be given here. And host means it represents the IP address. The port depends upon the application, the website, or the protocol. Protocol, as I said, the first identifier is the abbreviation of client server program that we need in order to access the web page. Although most of the time the protocol is a hypertext transfer protocol, which we'll discuss shortly in the next slide. And we can also use other protocols. If you are using a file transfer, there will be FTP. The host identifier can be the IP address of the server, the unique name given to the server. So normally it does with the help of DNS, domain name system. Will get that particular IP address if you given a name, and it automatically converted into IP address. That is also possible, that we will see in the next video session. The port is a 16-bit integer. It's normally predefined for the client server application. For example, if the hypertext transfer protocol is used for accessing a web page, that well-known port number is 80. However, if a different port is used, the number can be explicitly given in that particular port. If you are using different protocol, a different thing has to be given here. Path identifies the location and file name, the name of the file in the underlying operating system. So what are the documents we have available in? Because we deal with documents, we are going to access the web documents present in the web server. So we are going to give a request through browser, and the browser will use the language like HTML language or some other language and given to the server. Server will give the data through this particular format document like HTML or a JavaScript that will be given to the user. How it will be happening? What are the documents are given in the server? See, if you have three types of documents are used in web, because it's a collection of documents, collection of web pages. Web pages having, if you inside the web page, you have web documents will be present. The documents will be in the form of HTML or other formats, XML, extensible markup language. So if it is a static document means it is a fixed content. There is a fixed content document present in the server. It can be created and stored in a server itself. Client can get a copy of document. We can get a copy of document to be present in a server. We can't edit and modify it, and it will not be updated because it is a fixed document. It is used for fixed resource data applications. So you see there here, the client will be giving a request to the server that static document give a copy of document through client in the format of HTML. So what is dynamic document? Dynamic document is a fresh document. So every time you are given a request, they are given a separate document will be given, separate data will be given. That is, the dynamic document is keep on changing that. So this will be script will be run, this particular, the document script will be running in the server side itself. And for each request, we are getting a fresh document will be getting. If you want to know the example of this particular one, we have an application called date and time of server. If you want to access the date and time of the server, we provide a document That is a dynamic document, because we know that every moment the date and time, I mean the time will be keep on changing, and that will be updated into server. So whatever you are accessing the document in the previous time period, so that will be different from the present time period because of that document. This document is keep on changing. I taken the example of date and time. The times keeps on update, keeps on changing in every moment, and the date every day it is changing, and that particular document will be present and run in the server itself, and we can access the date and time in the mean period of that particular time limit. If you want the new, if you're giving a new request, it will get a fresh document that will be differ from the previous document. That is nothing but dynamic HTML document. So dynamic data resource is updated in server, that will be keep on updating to client. Depends. Active document. So this particular document, it may have a usage of server and we need to access the server, but this particular application must be run on client side. See, if you want to view some graphical data or animated data, it needs to execute it in a client side. So for the purpose, server executing the program or executing that file into client side module. So where the previous documents are executed and the files are operated in the server side and giving a document copy. But here the documents are given from server, but that will be executed in client side. That is very important. That is named as active document. So if you deal with a graphical representation, graphical image representation, it needs to execute in there only, because it needs to connect with your operating system and the graphical user interface present in your monitor. So these are the three documents we used in a web page, I mean the World Wide Web. So next we move on to hypertext transfer protocol. Is a protocol, as the name itself, we know that it transfers the data over the web. It transfers data over the World Wide Web, and it is also server client model, and it sent web related informations to web server. It uses the connection method like TCP. A connection establishment needs to happen with the help of TCP, with the help of transport layer. It needs to done, and it have some methods and some port. They have a request format, they have a packet form, they have formatter, that header, and how it look like, how to send the data from one protocol to another protocol or another layer. So the hypertext transfer protocol is a protocol is used mainly to access the data on World Wide Web. So the World Wide Web using a protocol called HTTP to get that particular data present in the web pages. So hypertext transfer functions are the combination of FTP as well as SMTP, file transfer protocol and simple mail transfer protocol. So it both have a connection, both have connectionless services like connection-oriented services. So I will discuss. HTTP is a protocol used to transfer the data over the web. It's a part of Internet Protocol suite and defines the commands and service used for transmitting web page data. So as I said, it's a server client model. You may have maybe a home computer, laptop, mobile. The HTTP servers typically have a web host running web server software. So whatever it is, we need to access the data from web server. So there are a lot of terminologies used in hypertext transfer protocol. We need to talk about IP address and transmission control protocol and the port number and the socket interface. So these are the main terminology in hypertext transfer protocol. And hypertext transfer protocol, we have two connections are available, and one will be non-persistent connection, another will be persistent connection. So the non-persistent connection is acts like a TCP connection. It gives a request and response from the server side and put a path, setting a path, and connection will be set up. Then the data will be transferred from client to server, which look like connection-oriented service is nothing but non-persistent connection model. Whereas persistent connection, it is not like that. When it not wait for request for a client, the server is always open in every time. So we need to access the data in timely manner in the client side. In server side, there is not a time when it keeps on active in every period. the passive open, and every time that particular connection will be on. So if you see the web pages, what we are seeing, every time we and others subscriber, other users can access the same web page, it will be given, and same different time periods it will be providing. So that type of applications they have will be available in persistent connection. The server is open uh, fully, whereas in non-persistence, server waits for a request, then data will be provided. So that is the difference in non-persistent connection and persistent connections in hypertext transfer protocol. The architecture of hypertext protocol is we know that we have a web client through web browser, HTML, World Wide Web, hypertext transfer. This is in the one side, and another side we have a server side script. They given a different script. I mean that whatever data we are going to access, that will be provided in a server side script. The script will be given, that will be available in the database. So that's the root. Intermediate stage is your protocol. Take the control from the client request and get the data from the server, and it will be coordinating that application, web application. So the basic request and response from HTTP request through the internet infrastructure and gets the connection from the server, and the server provided the response with that port address, IP address, and socket interfacing. The detailing will be there, that we will see in that particular site. And another thing, HTTP is a connectionless in the manner. See, a browser initiate a HTTP request, and after request is made, the client waits for the response, and the server processes the request and sends a response back, after which the client disconnects the connection. There is a thing in that HTTP is a connectionless oriented. Once the request will be given to the server, so whatever information will be, all the information received from the client, then the connection will be disconnected. Then server started responding the data to client. That is a new connection will be given, not in the same connection. There is a new connection. The data will be transferred to client side is possible. So there is both the server and client doesn't know about each other, because they are sending in a different time period. Only after getting the request, fully informations are passed, the connection will be disconnected. Then server sending a data to client. So that's the thing they are talking about. The client and server knows about each other during the current request and the response only. They don't know about further requests or made on a new connection. So that if you want to get a new request, a new connection has to be taken. So the client and server are new to each other. And another important thing is HTTP is independent media, in the sense the type of data can be sent by HTTP as long as both client and the server know how to handle the data content, whether it's a graphical content or it is an image, video. It depends upon the controller ability of HTTP. And HTTP is a stateless. So it's a connectionless, and it is a direct result of hypertext transfer protocol being a stateless protocol, aware of each other during the current request only. So they follow the state. Afterwards, both of them forget about each other. So they know after the request and response, they won't store the detailing about that particular connection. They don't know about, they will forget that the request and the response happened with the party. So due to the nature of the protocol, neither the client nor the browser can retain the information between different requests across the web pages. See, this is the request line and the status line in the hypertext. They have a header, client in the body. So, and the status line also, they have status codes are available. In request line, the methods are available. So that we will see. These are the methods used in the request line. Get is a method to request a document from the server. Head request information about a document, but not the document itself. Post sends some information from the client to the server. Put sends a document from the server to the client. Trace echoes that incoming requests. So like that, a lot of methods are available. Like status codes, like 200 means it's okay, the request is successful. So that will be given on the receiver side. So this is a general picture of how HTTP look like. The first word represent that request type. What type of request type is in the request line? This is a method. It's a get method. So we are using a get method, and path. This particular is the version of protocol. That is a request type, URL, and the version. in the request side, whereas the status side, it will be the what type of version, the status code, and the status space. Status codes we discussed, and this is the example we have. The client is giving a request using a method called get method. So there we have a method name get, and they have a URL and the path and protocol version. The method, path, and protocol version, and they will ready to accept the images, whatever thing will be given in the body. That will be sent to the server side. Server and acknowledges that, see the version protocol, the type, the version of the protocol, that is a method, and that is a status code 200. We see that here, the status code 200 is okay, the request is successful. That will be in the status code. So that will be provided here, and the date and what type of version, content length. There is no body of document. The body of document will be given. If anything will be aware, you have to say then server to client side. This is the response. The response is look like use the status codes and the version of protocol. Request is use the methods and the path and the protocol versions. So this is a application. So if you have a web document, so it's a hypertext transfer protocol needs to access the particular web document. See, they have an image and they have documents and the page detailing, video, ads. So these are the things are present in single web document, but it uses the infrastructure through the protocols like hypertext transfer protocol, through the format, the translator format and interpreter like script languages like HTML and XML. It's get the document detail will be from the server. From the web server, it accesses that. If you want, if it is a video, it has to go for a video server. If it is an ad, it has to go to ad server. But both will be integrated and coordinated in the document. The single web page, it's a World Wide Web is nothing but collection of web pages. The hypertext transfer protocol, it's collecting the data from the different servers, and it will be showing in the same web page. It may have reference pages too, so that will be shown in that particular web pages. So different contents that it may be a master page, it may be hyperlink. The HTML will be the responsible for through the HTML language, it gets the data from server and it will be provided in the web document. So that is the duty of hypertext transfer protocol. So that's the end of this particular video session. We discuss about World Wide Web. It's about a collection of electronic documents present in different web servers all over that globe with the different site names. Each site may have a different web pages present, different link will be given. For that, we have to go a separate request and response, and that will be seen in World Wide Web. As well as we discuss about in World Wide Web, we have three important documents are present. We discuss about static document, text content, dynamic document, active document. So these are the documents. It's about the client server model. So for achieving World Wide Web, we need the help of protocols. So that we know that the help of protocol and like hypertext transfer protocol, and with the help of language, that interpreter and get the data will be available in the format of hypertext markup language or XML extensible markup language will be used. So through the protocol is doing and coordinating with the method and the request, acknowledging, and what are the page detailing will be present, and integrated application is shown in your web page with the help of web server, with the help of internet infrastructure, the protocols, the port numbers, all get and show that see the visibility of that particular page. So how we are sharing, how we manage the sharing of resource. So see, we know that whatever page we are seeing, but that will be seen by other fellow also. That is the advantage of using internet. Okay, so thank you.